Christmas 2019 edition. I'm Jared.
Oh, I'm Kate. That was not me announcing myself.
No. I was going to make a very inappropriate joke, but I didn't. I refrained.
We're so proud. 2020 New Year's resolutions already happening. Who knew?
So here it is, Christmas at the Speaking of set. Ta-da!
Speaking of Christmas.
It's speaking of Christmas. So, are all of your Christmas preparations underway? Have you finished all your shopping?
I guess. I mean, how much coal can you buy?
Right?
You know?
Oh, that would be fun.
It's the hard part is getting the festive little bows and tags to put on said coal to make it look fun.
I was going to say, tape doesn't stick to coal very well. Don't ask me how I know. Anyway.
Do you know, I don't know if I've told you this, but Bobbert, producer, back in the day, gave me a box of coal for Christmas. Legit, real coal. Not the chocolate kind that you can eat.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. Was the coal in little spaces like chocolates?
No, it was like they were just tossed in a box that they did not belong in.
Wow. I mean...
There's a picture.
That sounds kind of fun. What kind of box was it? Was it shoes?
No.
She thought she was getting shoes.
No, it wasn't even a shoe box. It was just like it sure wasn't an Amazon box. I don't know what went in it before, but there's a picture of me holding it up.
But speaking of Amazon boxes, the commercial this year creeps me out. Those boxes are just singing and...
Oh, yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, the part that creeps me out the most is when like the little kid crawls under the table and the tablecloth and the box is under there and the box just starts singing and that kid doesn't run screaming like she should.
It's kind of like, it's not quite the same as, but slightly like unto the commercial for the cereal. What is it? The Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Where the cereals eat each other?
Yeah, like that's pretty cannibalistic. We have a guest on the studio.
We have a dog on set that you can't see.
Maybe you can see the tip of her head.
Maybe you can see. I don't know.
She's little.
She's tiny.
She's going to get on my blanket.
Speaking of creepy things, and then we'll get to something more festive, I promise. The other thing that is really creeping me out is the live action Cats Broadway. Those cat people are giving me nightmares.
I'm not going to lie. I've seen the commercial. Don't love it.
No, and it's got a lot of good people in it.
It does.
Because I'm like, why couldn't they just do what they did in the play and just... But they
made
the...
cats.
Yeah.
So then is it really live action?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen the real Cats?
I have not seen the real Cats.
I have not either, and I wonder if having seen it would make us not be so weirded out by it.
Maybe. I don't know, but...
Have you seen the real Cats?
Yeah, let us know.
There's a stray cat in my basement.
Oh my gosh, there's a possessed cat in her basement. Speaking of more creepy things...
Straight out of the bark box, she is.
But she looks like some...
Like farmer cat.
Farmer old cat that lived in the walls and moves about the house of its own free will.
To be fair, she is in the... what's it called? The framing?
The framing of the wall. It creeped me out. I mean,
especially when I said, before we go downstairs, you need to know there's a stray cat in the basement.
I thought like some stray cat had literally crawled into the basement.
I mean, I was kind of hoping I meant the band, but whatever, it's fine.
Well, we used to have birds fly into our basement when I was growing up. They would fly in through the dryer thing, and then you would open the dryer and a bird would fly out.
I'm thinking...
Anyway.
Oh, my antlers are flailing. I'm thinking that maybe you lived on set with Snow White.
I wish. The bird could have at least cleaned the house while it was there.
Did they talk to you?
No, but it happened like 3 times. It really did. I mean, what are the odds that that a bird is going to fly into the dryer vent and make it all the way down to the dryer? Good times growing up at my house.
Wow. All we had were the fake tapeworms in the window wells.
Ooh.
They were fake. My brother would tell the neighbor kids, don't get in the window wells. You know why? Because there's tapeworms in there. Do you know what tapeworms are? They're worms that eat your insides out.
Oh, your family just never ceases to delight me.
Yeah,
almost as good as when I had deadly nightshade growing in my yard.
Oh,
But
fun.
I've told that story,
Who
I'm sure.
doesn't love that?
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of childhood, we came across the circa 1982 Christmas wish lists of the family.
Oh.
First mine was found, and then more were found, and
right.
There were some interesting things discovered in there. For instance, producer had asked for several things. However, a star was next to handcuffs. And mind you, he was little.
But yet.
Really? And then my other brothers asked for things that were
what was he going to do with them? I'm sorry.
I don't
mean,
know.
like, I would feel better about the story if it was like a police officer costume.
No, I think I have it. I wonder if that's about the same time that he got the Teddy Ruxpin.
He needed to handcuff Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, like you got to keep him under wraps.
He was afraid Teddy would come alive at night.
Didn't he? Did you have a Teddy Ruxpin? Those things were creepy.
I didn't, but Teddy Ruxpin has been re-released this year.
He's been revived.
He's having a comeback.
Really?
He's having a reboot.
I kind of want one. Is it the old animatronic
yeah, it's
one?
an animatronic one, but with updated technology that now there's an app for him, of course, which might actually make him snuggly and soft as opposed to the cassette deck that used to be inside of him.
Teddy Ruxpin.
He might have looked cute, but try to hug that thing. Oh. You're lucky not to poke an eye out. Anyway.
Well, I have a speaking of creepy. I heard a story just today. So.
Wouldn't be speaking of Christmas without lots of creepy. Anyway.
I mean, we are who we are. We can't change that. Not now. So, talking to a neighbor as we're handing out neighbor treats.
Right.
And she's giving us an update on a recent car theft that happened in the general area. And this is one of those
happening like.
Well, here's the thing. I have only moderate sympathy because these people.
Were they warming up the car?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But they did leave the keys in the cup holder. I mean, you might as well just put a sign on it. And apparently their garage door was having issues that it wasn't always closing, so it was open.
Oh. Okay.
I'm just thinking if your garage door is consistently not closing, that maybe you would think to take your keys and say, anyway.
Well, even so just like stand in the door until you witness it closing.
Right. I mean, at any rate, a funny story was that apparently, excuse me,
sorry,
a creeper.
I whispered to her, we have a creeper.
Carry on.
Anyway.
It's okay, we have dogs in the studio too.
Just creep quietly.
Like a mime.
Oh, if we had a cameraman right now.
Oh, the behind the scenes action.
I hope part of it got in.
Wow, he kind of looked like the Grinch in a mime outfit at the beginning.
It's okay. He hasn't had a chance to get his hair under control. It's fine.
He's had the chance.
I just wish I had hair to get under control, okay?
Oh my goodness. Speaking of hair.
Seriously, I had a list of topics, like we were going to talk about what holiday movies do we need to watch to celebrate the situation.
So this is what's funny is I was talking to Christine just recently, and she was asking, do you guys have like an agenda or, and I told her, sometimes we come with a list, and sometimes we actually don't get to anything on that list, like today.
It's the magic of live interwebs.
Okay, so back to the car thievery story. So she's giving us an update on that.
But then I do want to hear about the hair.
Yeah, so she gives us an update on that, but then she says, however, I have another story of a car theft from 5 years ago or so that is pretty good. So this woman has her car stolen, so she reports it stolen, obviously, and the police end up finding it somewhere.
Right.
Okay, and so they bring her to the car, and they say, now we just want you to check to make sure that all of your things are still in it, that there are no extra things in it. So she looks through the car. Yep, everything's fine. It's fine. He says, can we open the trunk? And she's like, sure. So they reach down, pop open the trunk. They walk to the back. And
offset, dog, offset.
And they open the trunk, and there's a head.
Shut up.
She's a beautician.
Oh.
But the cop totally...
Between that and the stray cat.
But apparently the cop totally freaked out.
Well...
She said it was worth getting her car stolen just to see his reaction to the fake head.
And then all I can think of is the King of the Hill episode with Luann's beauty head. And Bobby's trying to make out with it, and Hank gets mad and takes it to the table saw. And Luann screams, "Ah!" Check out that episode. It's
I don't
priceless.
think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Sometimes Hubs watches them without me.
Because, yeah, Bobby is worried about being a bad kisser because he hasn't kissed a girl yet.
Right, right.
And so
naturally.
he steals Luann's beauty head.
When in Rome.
Classic King of the Hill.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm sad. See,
Alright.
just thinking about it.
I know I'm
I'm
going to have
like,
to go look
whew,
at it.
it's one of the earlier episodes. Hey, Bobby.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So, never mind. I don't want to tell that story.
See, we hold back.
We do.
You're welcome.
I was going to jump onto the police bandwagon and segue from there, but I'm
It's the holidays. No one gets arrested during the holidays. My brain, it's just...
No, so speaking of getting arrested on the holidays,
Okay.
this is just one of my beefs. So I was going to bring up, this is one of my beefs.
If I get arrested on the holiday one more time...
How many... I've only been in court once. So all these television Christmas shows, like, that's the biggest premise, is Santa gets arrested, Santa passes out, Santa gets hit in the head, somebody's got to take over for Santa so that they can have a family sleigh ride and deliver the presents, and it just bothers me.
Okay, I want to know what Christmas movies you're watching.
I'm not, so this is what happened. So I was on one of the streamers, Netflix or Hulu, and, you know, they have their little holiday movies. And that's when I started noticing. I was just going through them, and the description is Uncle Jack has to take over for Santa and his nieces and nephews. And then, you know, we got Tim Allen knocking Santa Claus out.
I mean, there's that. I have to say, though, I've been scrolling through as well, and I haven't seen any that were like that.
Oh, I was clearly looking at the D-listers.
The algorithm. Just saying.
Oh,
We did watch Mickey's Christmas this morning.
Mickey's Christmas, which one? The Christmas Carol?
Nope.
Which one was it? Just Mickey's Christmas? Mm-hmm. What was it about?
Christmas. It started out with Donald Duck and
Oh,
the
is it the
nephews.
one where Donald wants to fly south for the winter? But
No.
you should watch that one. It's good. Donald is worried he misses Christmas every year because he and Daisy have to fly south.
Yeah, no, they didn't fly south this time, and the nephews wished for every day to be Christmas.
Oh,
And every
those
day was
nephews.
Christmas, and they did not like it. And then it was Goofy and Goofy's son, Maxie. And Max didn't believe in Santa, but then Goofy said, "We'll wait up all night and we will watch for him. I will prove to you he's real." And so Max goes to bed, kind of falls asleep, and Goofy's like, "Hey, here he is, I got him. And so you see the silhouette on the house across the street, on the roof, and it's the big guy in the bag and the, you know. And
Did
so,
they knock him out and
no,
take over
so
Christmas?
he's trying to get ready to take a photo, and Max is like, "No, Dad, the lens cap is on." Takes the lens cap off, fuddles with it, and then all of a sudden these spotlights show down Santa, who is actually a burglar. And the reindeer and sleigh were just all the things piled up that he was stealing. Foiled again.
Oh, goof.
I know.
But speaking of Mickey's Christmas Carol, Mickey's Christmas. So on Disney Plus, they have Mickey's Christmas Carol and the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, wait, the lamp, not the rat! Wait, the lamp, not the rat!
Yeah. So one of my nephews has taken great delight in watching both of these things and comparing them.
Have him write an essay.
To do well, no, that's what I'm like. He'll be very well prepared for middle school when the compare and contrast essay comes up. Like, he'll be
I've
ready
got that
for it.
assignment done. I did it when I was 4, thanks.
So I know, right? So, but he'll tell you the differences between the two. Like, but my favorite part is if you have a door knocker on your door, you better watch out. Because it might come alive. But my other favorite part
Let's go
is
put one on his door. Can we please?
I dare say his parents would let us do it. Anyway. They'll be at my parents' house for a Christmas party. I know just the time we can do it.
Excellent.
Anyway,
carry on.
So his other thing is talking about Jacob Marley.
Okay.
So in the Mickey version, it's Goofy.
Oh, right.
And in the Muppet version, it's Statler and Waldorf.
Marley.
Yes. So Marley and Marley. So funny that you would bring that up because he's convinced, because of the song Marley and Marley, that Jacob Marley's real name is Marley O'Marley. Because that's what he hears in the song. Marley O'Marley. Woo!
Where does he think Jacob comes from?
He doesn't know about Jacob yet. I don't think he's realized, because that's the other thing.
Because
when he
they
gets...
because they don't say in the Mickey one. Do they not say Jacob Marley? They just say
they
Marley.
did. It's been a while since I've watched it.
We're going to have to compare.
Yeah, we might have to compare and contrast as well. But then I'm like, so he's going to be in for another disappointment when he gets into middle school, and A Christmas Carol is on the English Lit required reading list.
And it has no Muppets
And it
of
has
any
no
kind.
Marley O'Marley.
It doesn't?
It has Jacob Marley.
Right. I totally knew that.
Yes, Kate, Marley O'Marley.
That's not in the book? What?
Not in the Dickens version. No.
Oh, no wonder I didn't read it. Actually, that's not true. I did read it.
We did. That's one of the few. I don't like a lot of Dickens, but I did like that one.
I have to admit, I did read it.
You didn't like it?
No, I
Fine.
read it like last year or the year before.
You had to have read
That
it
was
in
the
middle
first
school.
time that I remember reading it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because maybe it was high school. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I read it for school.
There's like 2.5 books I remember reading in school.
Well, I just remember mine had, because of course it was the class set of copies, and the one that was given to me, like I was worried pages were going to fall out because the glue was like
because
that
it was like a
old
Dickens
and-
original.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's a first edition. It happens. What can you do?
No, not much. All right.
I'm trying to think of something Christmassy.
I mean, we can talk about the Christmas candies that we have to have every year.
Yeah, I
All of
can't
them.
find any
No,
of my
I'm
old
just
lady
kidding.
Christmas candy. What gives?
Oh, you do like those old lady Christmas candies.
Like
oh
the,
my
like
gosh.
the ribbon candy and the
Yeah, the
I
kind
love-
that sits in your grandma's candy dish and melds together, and
Becomes
grandma
one big
says,
piece
just
of-
chunk it off and it'll be fine.
It will, and it is. And I can't find it anywhere. I don't ask for much. Do I?
That's
No.
okay, because whenever I find like I'm craving the chocolate orange, that's when
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
find them.
Because it's January 7th.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, sure could use a chocolate orange.
Oh, the chocolate orange. Wow. Just wow.
Those and the mints. Well, the truffles.
The mints.
I like
oh.
I like a good chocolate truffle.
Eh.
Well, who are we kidding? I like a good chocolate truffle any time of year.
So there's that. I do miss Divinity. Good Divinity.
It's hard to find.
Yeah. My
These
dad made
days.
really good Divinity.
We should try
It's
for the show.
It's so hard. It's so particular.
It'll be fantastic.
George Michael, let's schedule it.
Yes, we will need a camera person.
Yes, we will for sure.
And
an
producer
editor.
is too good for us nowadays. So.
I mean, he's so busy.
with what?
I don't know. Living life. What's that like? Anyway.
I wouldn't know.
We know.
Despite my countless stories that I have here.
So speaking of Christmas, and I'm remembering now that I mentioned the Santa lists.
Oh yeah,
back in the
let's
day.
bring it back.
We'll bring it back to that simply because my list was pretty awesome. I did post it on Facebook. And it said I wanted a
Oh, I remember.
big,
I
in
liked it.
big letters, teddy bear. And then it had this whole list of things. And one
But
of
do you remember what big was back then? Like, what did you want? Like life-size teddy bear? Or
no,
just
I'm sure it was just like
big.
big. I guess.
I don't
But
know.
then I asked, it took me a couple of times to understand what some of the things were.
Right.
Because one of them, it was a Cinderella, and Cinderella was spelled horrifically. But then it
It's
said,
all about the phonics.
right? Because then it said WOCH or something, and I was like, oh,
Watch.
what? A watch. It took me forever
I've
to
been in
figure out.
education
And
too long.
Cinderella, what? Cinderella watch. So my mom pointed out, well, my sister pointed out, roller skates were in fact on the list. My mother pointed out that they were smaller and towards the bottom. And I said, that's because I already asked for them for my birthday and didn't get them, so I was losing hope. Anyway, that was just a little for the record.
Always comes back for
I'll
roller
have you
skates.
know that Scott's list didn't mention roller skates at all. That's all.
Scott is the brother that got the roller skates that year.
If you ever want to see what disappointment looks like, I've got the photos.
She does. Classic.
I mean, I'm totally over it by now.
I've heard this story every year for plenty years.
Not every year.
Just saying.
Remember that dog?
But
I
it's
thought-
okay because it's a good story.
It is a good story. Remember the dog that I thought didn't exist that everybody made me think I was crazy? Anyway, that's another story for another time. I think we've talked about it.
I'm sure we
That was
have.
also another Christmas episode.
It was another Christmas miracle.
Yeah, Christmas miracle and a spring disappointment. It's okay, Mom, it's fine. I think the heat's getting to me.
It's fine, Judy. It's fine. All right.
I would have ended up in therapy anyway. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
We're calling a day now. On that
Oh,
note.
I do have to say,
Oh, okay,
I was
we're not
listening to
calling
some
it a day.
Christmas music, and part of it is from some Sesame Street something or other.
Oh, tell me. I probably know.
Well, there's different songs and stuff, like Bert's trying to figure out what to get Ernie for Christmas, and
Oh, that's Christmas Eve on Sesame
yeah,
Street.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I haven't watched it yet this year.
I haven't watched
I'm
it, but
gonna.
I was listening to apparently
Oh,
the
I should
soundtrack.
bring it over.
So you should. So anyway, Big Bird, I think, and somebody, they're talking about how Santa gets down into the chimneys
Yep, that's the whole.
with the reindeer. Okay,
That's the whole
well,
plot.
so then they're talking to these kids, and I'm at my desk working with my headphones in, and suddenly I have to
Oh.
laugh right out loud because, first of all, this one kid is saying, well, the reindeer take him down. And he says, but how do the reindeer get down there with it? Well, they tie their antlers together.
Yeah, with tape.
Yeah, with tape. And then, but my
So
favorite...
you really need to see it in
I
live
do,
action.
because my other favorite part was the guy saying, but what if, like, you don't have a chimney, and the doors are locked, and there's no windows, and
It's Grover.
There's a
Grover is the
oh
other
yeah,
guy. Yeah.
there's a pause, and the kid says, then you have to move.
So
He's
this
not
is
wrong.
the true genius that was Sesame Street when we grew up. That does
Mhm.
not exist on HBO Sesame Street anymore. Is
That's-
that you had Jim Henson and Frank Oz
Uh-huh.
that were willing just to go to there and just talk
Yes.
to kids and improv and see what these kids would say.
And
And
go
they
with it.
need to come back to that so terribly so.
Yeah.
That
then,
was it.
then you have to move. Duh. How many kids do you think went to their parents after that? We gotta move. Santa's never gonna find us.
Well, yeah, I don't want to give the whole plot away. I'll have to have Kate watch it. So, you know. A new Christmas tradition.
Yes.
We
Hubs
used
is
to
gonna be
have
so
to watch
excited.
it it would be broadcast every year on PBS on Christmas Eve.
I don't think we ever watched it.
And, well, the only reason we watched it is because we would have Christmas Eve dinner. I mean, it's great. The only reason we watched it. But it was because we would have Christmas Eve dinner, and my grandma would have to clean up the kitchen before, the big gift unwrapping, and go watch Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. And so then there was panic in the streets, because eventually they quit doing it.
What are they
What
gonna
are
do?
you gonna do? It's just watch something on television.
I'm sure there's a Garfield Christmas
That's
special.
right. Just flip the channels, you'll find something. Oh, good times.
Oh, the Christmas specials. That was fun when you had to like plan ahead. It's on this
Right.
date. We gotta wait. We gotta watch it this date. Now you just watch it over and over and over again. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Watch it over and over again, or
Well-
wait. Like, I can only watch one once a week.
No, good
Like
point.
broadcast television.
No, yeah, no. I'm gonna find some of those old, like really good Christmas specials and just play them constantly. And I'm pretty confident that by
That you'll
doing
be divorced
so,
by the end of the month.
no, I'm pretty confident that this will instill in Hubs an actual Christmas spirit. Who am I fooling? Nobody. But it'll be fun anyway.
It will. Festive and whatnot.
And whatnot. I mean, it's either that or the Hallmark-esque Netflix videos.
Oh my goodness, the Hallmark. Oh, so talking about other things. Like, so my mom literally says to me the other day, you and Kate could write one of these.
That's funny because my mom is like, I can tell you the plot of any of those Hallmark movies. She has a boyfriend or a fiance that's a jerk. And then she has to go somewhere else. And she meets a nice boy. And she starts to have feelings. Then the boyfriend or fiance comes back. She's got
True.
it- I mean, she has it down. I mean, I've been checking, and it's kind
I
of like...
kind of want to give her puppets and have her reenact it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this one.
I mean, it can be done in 5 minutes.
Basically.
They look great.
I'm good. Yeah, but I just love them so much. I don't know.
The Hallmarks?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. They make my teeth rot, but
Maybe
that's all
because
right.
they're cheesy. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I mean, I can watch them with you if I can make fun of them the whole time I'm watching.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I mean, let's be honest. I make fun of the newscasters for different reasons.
Completely different reasons. Okay, then.
And on that note,
I'm like, are we good this time?
yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Leave comments about what you guys do for your holiday celebrations.
Yes, and call a lift.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
drive.
call a lift, don't drive. Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's us being responsible.
That's us being
adults.
responsible and me, like, taking it seriously. Anyway, I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.